Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. I'm your host, Lynelle Ellis, president of Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association, and I'm so glad that you've tuned in to watch the program today. We're going to begin with a devotional thought, and after that I have lots of station news to share with you. So looking forward to the opportunity to share these things with you. Let's begin now with a thought about our connection with God. You know, when you get to be my age, really difficult things start to happen with your parents and the parents of your friends and peers. The last 6 months have been really hard for my closest friends. One of them lost her dad and the other her mom, both to cancer. And another dear friend lost his mom to dementia. And my own dad just got out of the hospital, and another friend's dad was at the emergency room a few nights ago. Death and illness are hard, and these things loom in front of all of us. But I don't want to be disheartened or gloomy. Even when we face the really tough situations in life, like the loss of loved ones, there is hope. Today, I'm hoping that together we can look at some of the beautiful promises that God has for us, promises for the future. You know, God loves us so much that He has planned a glorious future for us. He's planned a way to rescue us from the malignant, radioactive results of sin. Jesus has claimed victory over sin and death. And we have a glorious and amazing future ahead of us. And the really incredible thing about all of this is that God not only wants to make a new, perfect earth for us to live on, He wants to come and live here with us. Listen to this tremendous passage from Revelation chapter 21. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and He will dwell with them, and they shall be His people. God Himself will be with them and be their God, and God will wipe every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away." Then He who sat on the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new." God wants to tabernacle with us. To tabernacle means to live with, to dwell with, to be with. He wants to be right here with us. That is so amazing. You know, we're like disappointing children. We've made so many mistakes, but He still loves us, and He will redeem us if we are willing. And He will live here on Rebellion Planet, the planet that has been restored. Now that's love. And He's going to put a total end to death and illness and injury and all the resulting crying and sorrow. How wonderful. God goes on in Revelation as He's talking to John, who, by the way, is writing everything down that he sees and he hears. "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son." God just has great plans for you and for me. How can we not turn to Him with our whole hearts and ask for the water of life? Even when we're weighed down by loss and illness and the challenges of life, we can be hopeful, looking for that time when sin will be eradicated, when sorrow will be over, and when death will be no more. I really enjoy reflecting on God's restoration of our world to a sinless perfection. And here's a commentary on that time that describes it so beautifully. "And the years of eternity, as they roll, will bring richer and still more glorious revelations of God and of Christ. As knowledge is progressive, so will love, reverence, and happiness increase. The more men learn of God, the greater will be their admiration of His character. As Jesus opens before them the riches of redemption and the amazing achievements in the great controversy with Satan, the hearts of the ransomed thrill with more fervent devotion, and with more rapturous joy they sweep the harps of gold, and 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of voices unite to swell the mighty chorus of praise. Blessing and honor and glory and power be unto Him that sits upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever. The great controversy is ended. Sin and sinners are no more. The entire universe is clean. One pulse of harmony and gladness beats through the vast creation. From Him who created all flow life and light and gladness throughout the realms of illimitable space. From the minutest atom to the greatest world, all things, animate and inanimate, in their unshadowed beauty and perfect joy, declare that God is love. What wonderful news, what wonderful things we have to look forward to as we give our lives over to God and serve Him. Please stay tuned. I'll be right back with Station News. Welcome back. It's time now for Station News. The first thing I want to share with you is about the new facility and the tower. You've been wondering about that, I'm sure, as we've been reporting to you each week about what's going on with it. The concrete for the new tower base has been poured, and now we're simply waiting for that concrete to cure. It needs several days to do that before we will attach the tower base to it and the tower itself to it and put that thing up vertical. So it won't be long. It could be as early as the beginning of next week, and you will see a tower at our new facility on Wallula Road. So really excited about that, and very, very happy news for us here at the station. Now, I also wanted to talk with you about something that has not been such happy news for us at the station. We've been dealing with a difficult situation related to ransomware. Yes, there was an attack at Blue Mountain Television. Some of you have probably heard rumors to that effect. The first thing that I want to assure you of is that we have been working closely with the FBI. So we haven't been out on our own. We've also had experts helping us with resolving this issue. And I also want to assure you that no personal data was accessed through this attack. So any personal information that you who are donors to the station may have shared with us over the past, none of that has been accessed, and that would include any credit card information or other personal information. In fact, we don't even store credit card information at the station, so that wouldn't be accessible anyway. So just wanted to assure you about that. We are not allowed to talk about how much was demanded of us, but we can tell you that some miraculous things took place related to that in direct answer to prayer, and the amount that we had to pay was significantly reduced, and we are so very grateful for that. Also, another thing that we feel was miraculous within this attack was that the computer that we use to play out the programs that you see broadcast was not affected by this attack, which was very surprising to us and to the FBI as well. We are so grateful for that, though. So our broadcasts have been able to carry right on. We did have to stop our streaming service for a period of time, which I'm sure many of you are aware of, but that is back and running again, as is our Roku signal going out. So these things are back in line already, and we are now in the process of restoring everything that was encrypted and putting it all back together at the station. This was, of course, a very difficult situation for us, but there have been some good outcomes related with it, and we are so grateful to God for helping us through these challenging times, and for the volunteers who came on board to help us as well in resolving these issues. I've got some other good news that I want to share with you, and that has to do with programming. You know, television stations and broadcast entities are really all about programs and bringing you things that you can enjoy. And so I wanted to tell you that we have the new program we've been letting you know about called Disclosure on the air now. And you can watch it on Saturdays at 4 p.m. either on the online or through the broadcast or however you access Blue Mountain Television's programming. Also, we've got another new program that's on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. and this is called Heaven's Call. And this is a documentary style program brought to us by the Voice of Prophecy with speaker and director Sean Boonstra. And it's a fun program to watch, and I trust that you'll enjoy it. So you can catch that one, Heaven's Call, again at Tuesdays at 9. And of course, I ought to give you an update about Secret Life of the Desert, which is still in full production. Daniel Biggs and Mike Denny have recently returned from the Pueblo Mountains, where they were looking for a particular lizard, the whip-tailed lizard, whom they found. Not that it's this particular lizard, but the lizard species, and were able to get some good footage. They also were able to obtain some footage of the comet that is in the sky now, and the Milky Way, and just beautiful scenery there in the desert. And so they've had a really good experience being out there filming. In fact, I wanted to be able to share a little bit of footage from that with you. So let's take a look at some of the footage from that trip right now.
My day started out, as usual, stumbling around because I am not a morning person. And I got up out of my tent, wandered over to a sagebush, and what I found was a rattlesnake. And he was all coiled up, and he had 9 buttons on his rattle, and he looked at me, and I was shocked to see him, and he slid into the middle of a sagebrush. So this was a western rattlesnake. And Dan and I had already declared today our reptile day. So it started out at 7-something with a western rattlesnake. So after breakfast, we headed out into the desert near a place called Domingo Pass. And what we found was phenomenal. We just got out of the rig, walked a few feet, and here was a Great Basin Whiptail lizard. And the Great Basin Whiptail lizard is a serious predator. And they kind of walk in a herky-jerky fashion. They go one way, stop, sit, look around, study everything, and then they go another direction. And if they sense danger, they will get up on their big hind feet and jet. They are so fast, and you will never catch them. But this animal that we found, he was curious what was going on, and Dan got some incredible footage of this beautiful lizard. They had black and white checkering along their flanks, and this one was probably 9 inches long, 10 inches. But they grow up to a 12, 13 inches, big adults. Then we found short-nosed leopard lizards. And short-nosed leopard lizards are super fast, but they are afraid of the human form. So the trick is to get down on your knees or down on your stomach, and they suddenly lose the fear of you, and you can get very close and photograph them. So short-nosed leopard lizards are unique because the female, when she has young, has big, bright orange dots down her flank, and the males don't have that. And they eat rodents, they eat other lizards, they eat big insects, they will even eat baby birds, and they are a serious predator. And then the other one we saw was a western fence lizard. And western fence lizards belong to a large family of lizards in western North America. But the western fence lizard is found across many habitats, but always in arid, dry sites. So these lizards are super important because they control insect numbers, rodent numbers, and they are the prey base for many mammalian predators that hunt them. So lizards are truly an amazing family of animals. I look at lizards as absolutely time consuming, and they are worth your investment to read up on them and go see them. But don't catch them. You don't have to pick them up. When you pick up a lizard, you leave your scent on that lizard, and that opens them up to predation by mammals like skunks, coyotes, badgers. They will all eat that lizard. So don't pick them up. Just look at them. They are absolutely beautiful.
I hope you enjoyed looking at that sneak peek of Secret Life of the Desert. It's really fun to see this footage that's being shot. And I also wanted to invite you and encourage you to support that program and the other new programs that we have on the station and the new facility and the work that's going on there, like the new tower going up and other things that are going to be happening soon with the new facility. You are the ones who support Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association and make these things happen here in our community, in our region here in Eastern Washington. And so your donations continue to be really, really important to us. As we move forward, as we're laying out the plans for the new facility, which are just being finalized, as I told you a couple weeks ago, it's so important for us to see your contributions coming in. And we also covet your prayers for the ministry, especially when we go through some of the challenging times we have recently. We can tell and we can see that your prayers are covering this ministry and that God is clearly at work in what we're doing here. We want to continue to be able to share good news with everybody who tunes in so that there are moments of hope and brightness looking forward to the future with God and His kingdom that people can experience by watching the programming from Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association. So thank you for your donations. Please continue to send them in to us. We need to hear from you at this time especially, and we thank you for it. I do hope that you'll tune in next week when I'll be back with you. I'll have a special guest. I will be sharing station news as well, and then also there'll be a devotional thought. So looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.